Right now, I would say we're not in the best shape. We still have to fix a lot of stuff, and our roster has a lot of work to be done, actually. We just actually brought in a coach. It hasn't been announced yet, but I think that will be helpful for us. At this event, we just want to try to do our best and make the best of it. Playing in front of the crowd is always an amazing experience. They give you a lot of energy, it helps momentum, and it's just a different experience I can't explain exactly than playing at home, or for example, or in a studio. Seeing all the fans in front of you, it's really breathtaking. We don't have anything special prepared. I think our game plan is to basically focus on playing our own game and playing to our strengths and how we feel we play best. So we don't want to go too in-depth to anti-shredding.
Not the first time we've heard players say they're focusing on their own game and they'll leave the anti-strang to their opponents. We'll see how much they can work out, as it's going to be OpTic versus FaZe. On paper, and as of recent results, you consider this quite the mismatch, but let's not forget they have equal standings in this Swiss format, 2 wins and a loss, meaning that the next win here could very well get them to those playoffs. I'm intrigued to know what our analysts do think. We do have YNK and Freiburg returning, and I guess we start with their discussion that Tarek mentioned. It has been announced now, right? I had to clarify with you guys, but the new coaching presence, I'll let you drop the knowledge bomb.
Yeah, the new coach for OpTic is the old coach of CLG. I'm a pet. They brought him in to help them out around basically, I mean, this tournament, because I don't think he was with them for the major qualifier. And, you know, he did good work with CLG, but I feel that OpTic has problems which a coach cannot resolve, so to speak.
Now, this is interesting because I felt like the OpTic discussion we had yesterday was that there is an absence of leadership, an absence of the in-game leader, of course, you know, the departure of Stanislaw, and now an addition of a coach. You're saying it's not necessarily what they need. Where's the thought process?
I mean, it's going to help, I'm sure, but they need someone who's going to lead the team in-game on the server, right? They need that leader presence, they need authority, and they also need someone who's going to make mid-round calls, right? Coach only has 4 timeouts. Really, in the grand scheme of things, you cannot run a whole half or a whole game with those 4 timeouts, no matter how much preparation you do. If the in-game leader or the player who's supposed to in-game lead forgets something or makes a bad call, you know, you can catch yourself taking a timeout just to stop the call and then waste it and so on.
And I mean, we could not think of a better example than NIP and the coaching change, and we actually have a member of you right here. Freiburg, what's your take on Janko's discussion here surrounding I'm a Pet and how much he can actually provide to a team that needs in-game and specifically in-game leadership?
I mean, yeah, as Janko said, it's a lot about preparation and how much you can actually prepare before a game. Because, I mean, he can't just step in the middle of the game, like in the middle of a round. The timeouts are in between rounds. There's always going to be different situations where you have to be... I mean, if you're going to be an in-game leader, you need basic like game knowledge on what to call in what situations. So that's very like depending on how the rounds goes, what maps it is. And I mean, we even talked about it before that Tarek is the in-game leader for OpTic. We haven't really heard anything else. So I'm just supposing that he is still the in-game leader for this event. It's been going fine. I mean, there are 2-1 up. They haven't really looked good as of late, but here, I mean, they're pulling up and they're close to Lanxess. I don't know if they're going to have a chance against FaZe, though, because I think the FaZe are, as we've said before, they've been in all the 4 last finals with Nico, looking to just go to the Lanxess Arena and play their games, right?
And quite, you know, similar stories about yesterday. They both had an opportunity to do it in 3, untarnished record, and it was actually, you know, we saw they had a trip and a stumble versus Mouse Sports, and we saw the other side of things, OpTic struggled versus Liquid. Those are where those losses were sourced from, and so both of them having an upset to an extent in their chance for Lanxess #1. Now, though, maps, let's talk about them. It's going to be an expedited process.
Train.
You just 100%? Yeah. Want to put some money on it?
Yes. How much?
You've seen it, haven't you?
No.
Okay. Let's put...
To go fast?
3 cuddles.
I don't disagree.
Cuddles.
I don't disagree because, I mean...
That's not money.
That's my currency. I'm a children's TV presenter now.
The maps are. So Cobblestone, obviously, veto for FaZe. It's not G2, it should be OpTic Gaming, but it would be Overpass Inferno. We see again,
oh my God, you're right.
FaZe can veto Mirage and Cash. They're going like the maps for OpTic Gaming, this is a bit confusing, are mostly like Train, they like to play Mirage lately. What else is there? There's not really that many maps. Cobble, yeah, but Cobble is the permaban for FaZe. So FaZe considers Train one of their best maps. They're not going to veto that, despite being a good map for OpTic. They prefer going into Train than for example, overpass, right? We saw how they can still be a bit sketchy on overpass, and for OpTic it's their most played map, but because it's like middle ground, their win rate is not very high, but they play it a lot.
And it's a fear of the unknown as well. So little overpass played so far in these group stages and best of ones, trend perhaps being established. We do want to check in those odds though. Provided by Betway, we get to see just how much of an edge FaZe have been given, and it is considerable.
Ooh.
Wow, that's one of the biggest discrepancies I think we've seen, at least today.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, on a map like Train though, like I just remember OpTic when having Stanislav when they won the E-League season. Train was their best map. So I'm coming back to where we talked about Na'Vi lacking leadership. I think OpTic is kind of in the same situation right now, but it's the same situation as well that they have like Train as their go-to map. It's always been for OpTic. So I mean, I think they should feel confident. I think they should feel comfortable on Train. I'm just expecting a great game here. The odds doesn't really reflect on Train. It's hard to know before the maps, but on Train, I would say a closer game, even though I favor FaZe.
It has to be very quick.
Yeah, I mean, OpTic lost to Penta and Vegas Squadron at the major qualifier on this map. So if they're going to beat FaZe, they need to throw caution to the wind and basically just hope that they can individually be up to par to FaZe.
Which, as we know, is no easy task. Being better individuals than some of the best team at being the best individuals. I promise that makes sense. And talking of best individuals, we have them with the microphones in their hands and on their heads. It's none other than Sadakist and Henry to guide you through Train.
Yes, Train for FaZe has been a map that's actually favored them quite well since Katowice, if you want to go back that far. It's an entity, an eternity ago, entity, whatever. It's certainly going to be a tough challenge for OpTic, I think, in this game.
Absolutely. FaZe, undoubtedly the favourites going into this one. It's going to be Train. OpTic, after going up 2-0, looking great in this tournament, dropped a little bit flat against Liquid as we crashed around us. It's going to be absolutely fine, Matt, I promise you. And it's going to be the pistol round starting right now. Here we go, OpTic on the T side. We'll have a look at the buys coming in. Winner of this game does go to qualification, of course, to the playoff. FaZe versus OpTic. Armor purchase for 3 players, Naf, Tarek and Rush. Hazed with the smoke. Mixwell with the upgraded pistol in the form of the Tech-9. No armor for him. Got an HE to work with here as we get into this one. CTs. 4 of those players out towards outside and Kiyashima holding inner. Tarek going for the inside control nice and quickly. Shows some presence there by shooting the glass and trying to pull a rotation perhaps.
Nico getting up toward A main early. Rain on the green train. Gonna be watching, not A main, toward ladder instead. Tarek, he's already through with his smoke down at Z connector. He's gonna push all the way up as well. I like this. It's decent. Red Rover, Red Rover. He's gonna make sure he cuts off rotations. There's already 2 inside of the site, but he can still do damage to anyone else that wants to walk over from A. Nico as well has gone all the way through A main and up to the brown hall, so Hazed and Mixwell tasked with trying to shut him down. And Mix on 4. Should be the one that gets aggressive. Oh, look at him slipping in. Kerrigan working with them. FaZe already creating much problem. Many kills on the retake.
Yeah, not really much that OpTic can do about this. The full defuser coming in, the smoke's down as well. Kerrigan gets one of the final frags. Mixwell surviving to the Tech-9. Probably just wants to try and stay alive at this point as well. Brutal retake there from FaZe. It was looking so good for OpTic. Easy inside control coming in their favour. Pushing down the connection points as well. Watching the flanks. Just couldn't hit the headshots there with the Glocks. Needed better aim overall, and OpTic give the round away. Presumably they will not force by into the second round to get the AKs out in the third. FaZe preparing for that. You can see that reflected right now. 4 M4A4s and Rain with the MP9. He gets a bit more utility in the defuse kit, of course, but they just want to keep this round as clean as possible so they have a nice full buy against the AKs coming in the next round. Aggressive play towards the Ivy position. Nico finds Nafly. 5 and 4, just what he wants. Get the advantage and then fall back. Yeah, I've got the information as well. It's an unarmored player. As we go into the 5 and 4 situation. Bomb still down in T spawn. 3 other players trying to get some inner control here. Very unlikely to get a plant here. Best bet would be towards inside, where sometimes you can get a trade if it's a solo player, but that's not the case. Now they've got the advantage. You can justify having 2 players towards that area, Aloe and Kiyashima. Towards lower they'll go, but no flash or smoke to really give them an entry.
Nico is working with the M4. And he's already pushing down from Ivy to cover off any backpedaling they may do. But look at Alu. Gets 2. Kiyashima gets 1.
Get the plant in. Here we go.
Mixwell's going to do exactly that. 1 kill, all they needed on the entry, and a plant down for OpTic Gaming. And Mixwell's going to make things expensive. Gets Alu as well. Trying to find more than that with the Tech-9, but Nico has arrived on the flank. He'll get the full 10-second defuse as well. Because why not? Because stats.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much as good as it's ever going to get for OpTic there. Bomb down, 2 kills as well. Didn't invest too much into that round. FaZe know the full buy's coming. We can have a little listen. Probably more beneficial. I guess both these teams speak in English, actually. We can actually maybe hear some insight. Didn't really help us out too much in the previous game with G2 and SK, of course. But round 3. Orb comes in for Mixwell, so very strong buy in the 3rd round here. No Orb for FaZe, and this could be maybe a fast approach from the T side here. Looking towards main entrance, but a bombardment of grenades, and Nico with a double kill with the AGs. OpTic finds a kill in return. That's Rush finding Nico, but Rush down to 9 HP himself. Needs to be very careful as the wall bangs come in. Great way to kick off the first gun round. Orb goes down though. What's the play from OpTic here? How do they recover? Well read by FaZe generally to take those grenades at the start.
He's working back to try and reclaim territory lost long ago. And a land far, far away. Rain's going to push up, though, and make sure that they can't use that A main to their advantage. In doing so, aligning himself with the wall, he'll be able to spot forward the ladder. They check it. Rain still finds the kill on FaZe as he backs up and gets an angle. Flash through. He can go back in towards Rush. Baits his shots in with the flash to try and bait a shot out of Rush on the AWP, but goes down nonetheless to the fact that Naf worked in from Pop Dog. Smoke now in front of Naf, though, means that time ticks away, and they'll get even less to work with. 43 seconds. They have to try and work their way back over to B, or try and isolate the 2 players inside of A, which with an additional smoke deployed is now going to get down to something like 30. Make that 25 seconds when they get to go.
Yeah, not looking too good here for OpTic, I have to say. 3-on-2, you'd think that's possible. That sort of opportunity, maybe they still have a chance here. Rush spots the player. Uses the Molotov to try and flush him out. It's not quite deep enough, though. You can see Carrigan. He does fall back. Just about gets out of position as well. 15 seconds. They even go for this round. The bomb's actually heading towards inside.
Oh,
makes the kill. Now we've got a chance. Alu didn't have to do that.
He bought it. He bought it. The 2 smokes and flashes thrown by Rush at the outer site. He thought, okay, I've been waiting long enough in B. That confirms they're definitely on A, given the time, and he starts to rotate exactly when Naf was walking in with the bomb. All he had to do is sit back. Naf, 1 versus 2, tries to go back up for Kerrigan, knows he's up close, gets a shot on the repeat. They could win this OpTic when they had no business. All of the utility and time was in the favor of FaZe, and Alu gets aggressive and gets caught off.
Yeah, that's all down to Alu there. 10 seconds remaining as well. Lester planted the bomb. He doesn't really have to commit like that. Nafly probably can't believe his luck. Finds a player with the knife out at the low ramp, takes him down, and FaZe, they slip up there. That's a little bit messy for them. You can see how that's broken them down in terms of their money as well. Down to just pistols here. Scout for Alu. Oh, difficult round after finding those 2 HE kills at the very start as well. A 5-on-3 to kick things off with 1 player on 9 points of health as well. You hate to see it, but Alu, 1 key mistake, and there it is. OpTic are on the board. Presumably going to win this round as well. Definitely got the advantage here. Mixwell on the AWP. Had a really rough tournament so far in terms of numbers, especially against Liquid yesterday. He's on the AWP this time. Get that first pick. He's towards Ivan, seeing if he'll be given anything. That's a decent grenade. Lands in Carragher's direction. Doesn't do too much damage. Got armor to defend himself. Smoke's deployed. Good default stuff so far from OpTic. Bait out any CT utility, work out what weaponry they have. Try and find that first pick and then group up. Normally safe to go towards inside at this point.
Rush trying to spray through and do damage. What a costly round for FaZe. The previous one proves to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rain will at least take down Naf to start it off on what is the only rifle for. Don't really include scout or scope in that, but it's the M4 that gets the kill nonetheless. They start off good flashes back though for Hazed, and Rush taking down Kerrigan. Rain gone means it's down to just pistols. This is Nico and Keo. One of which goes down, the other of which is not anywhere near the bomb that is now planted for OpTic, so we're going to go 2-2.
We will. After losing the first pick, Rain with that rifle takes down Nafly, but that's all they really get into this round. The force buy doesn't provide too much for FaZe. Kiyoshima, the last player remaining now in T-Spawn, 5-7 in hand. Has some body armor to save into the next round, but they'll almost certainly be eco going forward now. This will tie things up at 2-2. First stage loss, well, second stage loss winners after this. Kiyoshima gets 1 kill. Get a second as well with a low HP Tarak in front of him, so that's beneficial for sure, taking the AK into the next round. A team like FaZe can always be deadly with just an AK-47. Moves himself up to the dumpster, trying to do a little bit more of this as well. Nice shot, but Rush finds him in the end. Down to 7 HP. Does significant damage there. Rush with 3 kills in total. And like we said, second stage loss bonus now. FaZe getting $900.
You want to go down ladder, or you want to go down ladder here? Backside?
Gonna go down ladder map, if I can hear. Next round. Watch out for that.
Well, there you go. You've got all the info. I don't know if stream can hear that or not, but...
Can you not hear it?
No.
I can hear it. So Tarek said, do you want to go down the ladder? Let's give it a go. Down they go. There it is. Fast.
Naf going to take down Kerrigan. Rush is pushing him up, but they're pushing against him. 4 players out, and he only gets 1 kill. Keo steps up, but now it's Mixwell in about as much target practice as you could get. Pretty nice little shooting gallery for him. And Naf just charges down Keo, who runs back away, cowering from the AWP to go 3 rounds for OpTic.
3. Actually take the lead here as well. So, round number 6. FaZe still struggling here, Matt. That round really did cost them a lot. So sure, they get rifles out once again, but this team needs the AWP. That's when they're absolute best. And Alu's hitting shots, and they can even have double AWPs on this map as well with Kerrigan as well, but can't really bring that to the table just yet. Nafly with the Mac 10 might not seem like a quite a tantalizing weapon, but against unarmored heads, gonna have a very good chance of causing some damage here. Don't even need that to kick things off. It's Mixwell to find the first shot, takes down Rain from the main entrance. Knows he hasn't got an AWP to go up against him, so why not give it a chance, and finds the early advantage. Do OpTic hold back and be disciplined at this point? Or they try and commit towards outside? It seems like it's going to be the former. Don't want to give this advantage away. Whoever wins this map, bear in mind, does make it to the playoffs.
Mixwell sits back to watch the lane that is now a very real possibility by which Nico could strike. And their eyes are off of it, so Nico's patience in the cubby. If he elects to try and push down further, the timing would be there. I'm going to get closer toward A main, and having already gotten 3 players down the ladder. Very, very open A site. This is where they will intend to go. Very open A site. Retake or save. What's the call going to be from FaZe if they give this up without any further action?
Yeah, this is a massive problem. I think they'll give it one chance here. Alu with the single frag. Is that going to be enough to justify this? Look how separated CTs
Mixwell's
are.
ready as well for Alu, or for, excuse me, for Nico. He's already gone back toward A main, so even if Nico wanted to try and challenge and flank them out, he's covered off. Keo's covered off at the ladder. There's no way in. I call the save now. Oh, that aims well. Oh, down goes Keo. Yeah, definitely call the save at this point.
Yeah, good stuff there from Rush. OpTic are loving this situation. FaZe broken their own economy. That key mistake, and now struggling to get back into the game. It's going to be 4-2 here. Nice shot from Mixwell to open things up. Bleed the CTs out with the mistakes to be made further. Nico would find another frag on Rush, but that's all for naught. They're going to be trying to hunt him down. Bomb will definitely go off here. Nafly guaranteeing that as he picks up an AK-47. Falls back as well. Upgrades from his Mac 10. And Nico survives with Kerrigan just about. Nico goes under 21 HP. But this is looking interesting now. He's definitely have a game on our hands. I wasn't too excited with the prospect of FaZe versus OpTic, but decent money now for the NA side. About 7k per player on average, and FaZe still weak. They have to take another eco here, so OpTic can start running away with this first half. At least make things very difficult and problematic in the early stages. Round number 7, they have to go for the Smama, P250, some Deagles, but Nico, one of the world's best players with the AK-47, looking to cause chaos here. Could go towards upper ramp, that'd be something. He's in towards the B bomb side, but it's Kerrigan going first, and he gets taken down straight away. I'd like his teammates to be with him, really, but regardless, he could just be baiting them in, because they have got 3 players waiting on the other side.
He's trying to find his way inside of the site with Nico still behind the spools. The further Hayes goes, the more likely he is to die. Turns around and realizes it helplessly with a bomb in his hand. Rush and Mixwell make up for it ever so slightly, though, and bring it down to just Kiyoshima. What can they do to try and hold him out of the position of denying the plant? Well, just kill him, that's what.
Nice.
5-2 for OpTic.
Nice idea there, I have to say, from FaZe. When you kind of break it down, it makes a lot of sense. They had 3 players in towards the inner side, with Kerrigan kind of the martyr there, just running up the lower ramp, trying to just suggest, here's one of the rifles, you're taking them down, come inside, it'll be open. And then you've got Nico with the AK-47, the danger man, trying to make things happen. He gets 2 kills, he gets a 3rd, they might have a chance within that one, but well recovered by OpTic. It's 5-2 now, double AWP setup, this is what we were looking for. Alu and Kerrigan, of course. Kerrigan certainly proficient with the AWP, we saw that in his tenure within Astralis. We'll be holding towards Ivy for now. Flashbang means he has to fall back and just drop a smoke as well to delay the terrorists on the other side. Nico M4A4 playing in front of any potential smokes on the outside bomb site here.
Red, blue, green. Not the primary colors.
The trains.
Last train should be yellow. In fact, it's actually cyan, yellow, magenta. Truthfully, Henry, if you wanted to know.
I was wondering.
Yeah. Mixwell. KWB. Does he spot Kerrigan? Not quite. He's sitting at Hitch, but he's not exposed. He's in fact looking back toward the Ivy position from back side of the red train. Flash goes down to the pop dog position, and Rain doesn't really care. He's going to stay there anyway as they start to work with bomb, though. The terrorists do toward B, where Keo waits beside the bomb train. Wait for Tarek, that is, to walk in and try and get the plant. They will do. Tarek gets the kill. Naf goes down after. Tarek follows as Alu hits 2 good shots, but neither of which were carrying the bomb, and therefore it's planted. Try and hold it off desperately as Alu gets closer from tank side. Couple shots back into him from an AK-47 will discourage any further advancement as Mixwell takes Nico, but traded back by Kerrigan, so there's still a chance as they have the man advantage on the retake. 1 kit in place still, thus for Rain. But Hayes is taking Kerrigan down, and that kit needs to get close now. And Rain going down with a good shot from Rush, leaves it just to Alu. He'll slip up, try and grab kit back, which he's done. Not the M4 though, stays on the pistol, and Rush pushes through.
Impressive stuff here from OpTic. They seem to be throwing caution to the wind. Quite loose strategies here. Not too technical in terms of the execution. Just down that lower ramp as soon as the CT smoke dissipates. Find that first kill. Sure, Alu gets 2 in return. As the bomb goes down, Mixwell steps up from the lower ramp with the AWP. Stops those rotation frags coming in, and the retake can be very difficult there for the CTs. That double AWP setup doesn't lend itself to those sort of situations. And as soon as it came down to the 2 versus 1, Alu with no kit. AWP on his back as well. Has to pull out the default USP. And now it's 6-2. OpTic, they're loving this. That 1 round, man, it's coming back to haunt FaZe. That play towards lower round of Alu, getting the miscommunication. You can't really blame it all on him. He must have had something to tell him. 10 seconds remaining. They must be going outside. Dropped that round. It's just been a nightmare since then. OpTic looking very strong today, I have to say. Rush especially, 12 frags and 4 deaths. This has been a team that's been in turmoil recently, like looking...
Tarek, is it lack of pressure and having fun, or is it Tarek in-game leading?
I think this team, like we said at the end of the major qualifier, like, this team probably won't be a 5 after this season. I think they've all accepted that. We know Hayes probably isn't going to stay in the lineup. He was the coach, brought in out of necessity. Been playing pretty well this tournament, and I think they've just kind of lost the pressure, not going to the major anymore. Probably their last event as a 5-man unit.
But there's also the aspect that Tarek's in-game leading as well for the first time.
Yeah, sure.
So which is it? I think it's a combination of both, to be honest.
Absolutely.
But it's just an interesting thought. Like, could that have fixed it sooner?
Someone like him, not known as an in-game leader, coming out with quite like just looser plays and this kind of gut feelings, and
them just going with it, not doubting it.
Yeah.
Because I think that happens a lot. A lot of teams that are very structured, if someone throws a loose play and they're hesitant to do it because they're, feeling pressured and more on the line. Whereas now they're just throwing caution to the wind. I like it.
Well, it's another eco here for FaZe in terms of the investment. They are a maximum loss bonus, about a 2k per player. If OpTic can win this without throwing this round away, they have a real strong chance of actually taking this map and going to the playoffs against FaZe. No one would say that was being possible before the game, I don't think anyway. So Deagle, CZ, the scout for Nico. Damage inflicted across the board to the CT side, but enough. Getting the brunt of it as well, down to 31 HP. Let's rush at the end. But again, towards the backtracks here, and how perfect is that? Kerrigan falls for it, but Nico in return.
Bad timing on the reload for old Rushley. Miss Rushley. Is he even observing at all?
I'm not sure he's observing, but he's here.
He's here somewhere. His old scraggly beard. Oh yeah, he is back there in the production room apparently. Tarek gonna push up, AK in hand, but found by Keo, so the pistols. Not only a kill for Nico that's gonna pick up a rifle. They get Keo to get one as well, and they've got armor, so those 2 rifles are very beneficial. There's no kits though, however, so they have to push. They have to make it work, as Hayes will slow the push down ever so slightly by getting Rain. They still want closer. They won't go tank side again until now as Alu pops out. Hayes has the same angle, nothing to move him off of it because they don't have nades, but Keo still finds the kill against Hayes. Mixwell has the Molotov. He'll throw it now off the door, and they know he's there, but that might just kill the end of the round for them. Yeah, Mixwell, I'd say the round done. Burns Nico alive.
That was the main problem. I spotted that just as they go for the retake. It was exciting in terms of how many kills they get, but that doesn't matter. OpTic got loads of money. They don't care. They're absolutely fine with that. As long as they win the round, they're posting numbers. That's great. FaZe, very skilled team, always be problematic against their pistols and their scouts. Comes down to a tricky situation, but that one Molotov guarantees the round. Like I said, no kits available. As we get to round number 10 now, another buy, not a double AWP setup this time. FaZe still not 100% comfortable. You can see 4 players of our head armor, obviously not required against the AKs, but it's evident as to where they are right now. Alu against Mixwell. This time he wins the duel. Mixwell coming out on top in the previous encounter. 5-4. What's play from OpTic now? The first real test here in the gun rounds for them.
He's looking down the lane to try and find Kerrigan. He's going to try and see if he can get a shot onto him before the smoke's fully in place, and Kerrigan goes to a more passive stance. Ooh, jumping across. He's nearly spotted him, nearly took him down. Naf sets up. The smoke out at the end of Ivy. Good shot from Rain to find Tarek. So the advantage finally for FaZe. They've been struggling to get any leads to work with, and this one only minimal as well. Still early, as we're at 55 seconds. It can be pulled back. They've got 3 at the outer site. Rain, Alu, and Kerrigan, and Keo alone. It's A main that's occupied, which means outside's more of the threat, so good positioning, therefore. As Rush goes in, found by Alu. Hayes is taking the initiative to run directly by all of that. Rain should be expecting him soon, but maybe not, because Alu gets in the open despite Rain's position on top of the train. Hayes just followed it up.
Wow.
Where is this coming from, Mr. Coach? As Keo takes down Hayes, bomb drop temporarily. It's Naf that has to try and pull it back alone. 26 seconds. If he finds the next kill quick enough in the next 5 or 6, he may have a chance, but he's found first by Kerrigan.
Yeah, Hayes is looking really decent. I guess the pressure not calling for this team anymore allows him to frag a little bit more. He's only on 7 kills, but he's had some high-impact moments for them. FaZe pull one back with, I think, 3 players surviving in total. Actually 2, so not in a great position still. They invest back down to $0. That's not a story for OpTic, though. They've got plenty of money here. Win this round. This is double eco territory for FaZe. Need to win this, otherwise OpTic are going to run away with this first half and pit FaZe in a very uncomfortable position, I have to say. Faster play, though. Smoke's deployed already. We'll see where this goes. Could fake it towards inside with the smokes down. That's very likely, and seems to be the case as well. Mixwell and Tarek with Nap as well with the bomb. They're trying to show presence outside as Hazed. Trying to rotate as many players as he can over, and Kiyoshima now going to be really tested as they go towards the lower round. Luckily, he dropped an incendiary, and Nico finds a kill outside as well. Probably has the information. Kiyoshima certainly has, as they fully commit towards the inner side.
Keo takes down Mixwell. Rush gets Kiyoshima back.
Ooh,
Well,
nice.
Tarek as well to find Alu, so they've pulled it around. Remember, I said FaZe has been struggling to get leads early. Well, let's see if they can convert on a retake. Kit for Kerrigan. Death for Nico.
Yeah.
Rain gets closer. Kerrigan's going to flank it to try and get closer on the bomb when he does arrive, so he doesn't have as far to go on entry. Good find from Rain. AK, perfect. Gets a one-tap headshot, but it's Kerrigan left alone. Bomb planted for them in the open. An immediate smoke means immediate spray. I'm surprised he doesn't sit off of it at first, because as soon as they fire in, they've already channeled off one side of it. They fire at the other, and he goes down.
They're getting fired up. Look at them. Loving it. Especially Hayes. It's a big round as well. Nice little fake. Just cool tactics at the beginning of the round. You can see them smoking and molotoving towards outside. 3 players ready inner. Hayes, he goes down short, but he's done his job. He's called. There's 4 players outside. Kiyoshima by himself. Overwhelmed. Gets 1 kill, but it's not enough. And pushing down. Stopping the key players rotating in. Alu completely wrecked the AWP. We said that's a nightmare. FaZe lost that round. Double eco. Nico's actually got him with the scout and head armor as well. So he spent a lot of money here. Outside rush. Could this be the downfall of OpTic? Doesn't seem to be the case. Mixwell finds the first frag. Looking to plant the bomb here. Need to win this OpTic. Can't give anything away, and they're finding all the frags required as well. Nico, the last player left of any sort of significant weaponry. Scout and head armor. Be Kerrigan though, only 1 frag, but that's all he'll get.
As well inside of the site.
This is looking good, man.
Very, very good. 9-3 for OpTic, and convincing at that.
We have to have another eco as well. This is double digits on the T side. Not done quite yet. We saw this against Mouse Sports from FaZe. We said after a 13-2 first half on Nuke, I think it was. They got back into it. They lost the game eventually, but you always know they have the chance to pull things back. We'll have a look at the frag charts where we have this eco. Rain, 4 for 11. Don't want to see that. One of the key players down there. We need him at the top usually. Yeah. Kiyoshima at the top. Nico at 10, so he's top fragging technically, but here's Nafly finding frags once again. Surely won't get more than this. If he gets 3 in total somehow, it's Kerrigan and Keo fighting back. They've got control of the bomb as well, so this could be something, considering Nico and Kiyoshima recovering AK-47s. becomes problematic now. One mistake from OpTic can grant FaZe the victory. So they need to get together. Pinter from inside as well, but you can see the CT's very aware that could be the case. Kiyoshima watching inside toward the connector. Rush hoping for a mistake to be made here. I think he's on the other side of the bomb train. Here he comes. There's the kill. That should secure the round at this point. Nico very strong with the AK, but doesn't seem to be in an ideal situation right now. They'll recover the bomb and... Oh, okay. Well, I thought they were closer than that.
Well, they're not yet. There was a smoke at the other end of the bathroom entrance that Nico is guarding. He's going to go a little more aggressive. He doesn't want to rest on the fact that they were closing in on him, but he gets found by Rush. Rather, he finds Rush, depending on how you want to look at it. And the round goes the way of OpTic, just as 9 previously have. 10 total now. And there'll be guns back up on the FaZe side this particular round, but they're still very low on money. Round 14. Allo on the AWP. Allo on the AWP goes toward Ivy, watching down all the way to A main though, so easily smoked off if anyone at Ivy even threw one down from the T side, hence he's going to rotate off.
Well, it goes without saying, FaZe need these last 2 rounds to have something to work with in the second half. Certainly a CT-sided map. Well, for Alu. And Nico controlling inside. That's a key position. We just switched to him. We'll explain that him being there by himself means you can see 4 players towards outside right now. That's key. If he can stay alive, maybe get a couple of frags. We've seen massive plays in that position in particular as well. This is big. Carrigan. First to receive at Ivy, can't find the shot though. Hayes takes him down. Allo in return though, has to be a quick scope here. Nails it, takes down Hayes. 3 on 3.
3 on 3 indeed. Good shot. Allo finds yet another, but he's got to go up and down a ladder that leaves him limited, and Mixwell's able to get the kill instead. It's on to Nico. FaZe was very off yesterday, and I thought, okay, late night, or maybe it was 2 nights ago, I can't remember at this point. Very off, very late in the day. I thought, okay, fair enough. It's been a struggle. And they got caught off by it, but I did not think 2 games in a row they would be outplayed this heavily. As Nico is out toward Ivy, bomb is in B. That's not exactly the right position to be in.
No, that should be it. He's got a flashbang to work with here. It doesn't even look like he's going for it. Doesn't even know if it's inside or outside. Probably realize at this point, do I just save this AWP? I think he has to go for it, really. 10-3 down. Looking to be 11 here. FaZe have looked pretty off this one, I have to say. Especially in that crushing defeat against Mouseport as well. Now OpTic, a team you think they'd blow out the water, but this is looking more unlikely by the second. Molotov's good. That's great. Now actually has a real chance of winning this.
Nico. Oh, hits Mixwell, but didn't have the kit in his hands. Wouldn't have mattered, he wouldn't have gotten back there in time. He'd picked it up sooner. He's going to go down to the bomb as well, lose the AWP. And round 15 money, not really for FaZe.
It's not really there at all. 3k per player. So Nico had to go for that one. Sure, it looked great that he got the Molotov kill. Well, the kill with the Molotov baiting out the other player. But at that point, as soon as he fired the shot at lower round with a decent flashbang towards lower, round over, didn't have enough time to defuse. They know it, and he doesn't save the AWP either. He actually died to the bomb blast. Scout for Alu, 3 UMPs and a 5-7. Looking very likely to be a 12-3 half at OpTic. Certainly have the potential to give this one away. Need to be very careful. If they can get 12, they're going to be feeling so pumped. This winning the pistol in the second half could guarantee the win.
Flash through. Hayes turns again. Turns back, and all of a sudden, Rain's taken over the place where previously was occupied by a brick wall. He's got the shot into Hayes. He goes down. Kerrigan with the UMP is going to get covered off at smoke, but throw an 8 out instead. His teammate's gone very low range, so he'll get closer, and they'll double up the position and give up a little more toward the front of the site instead. But it looks like a full commitment toward the Ivy position from OpTic. Something tells me this round they may just get shut down if they commit to that. They could do, based on the positioning of FaZe, is rotate back Old Train, head towards CT, or swarm the site in effect from both angles.
Still could fall away here. There's now Flight, opens things up. They could go towards the backtracks as well, make their way towards CT spawn. That's an option. They're waiting for them though. Misses that first shot. That had to be the headshot to have a real chance here. Molotov off now. They might just avoid him, go towards outside. That's where the lack of firepower is. Only UMPs to really hold them off here. Mixwell with the AWP, trying to find another key opening play here. Still with a minute, or 30 seconds I should say, so maybe time is ticking a bit away.
Yeah, that's what getting the back alley does for you. You have the option to go to B. It's quite clear they weren't going to split that because no one was in position, so they go for the old bomb entry, which still pushes the CTs out of position and gives you an entrance that's essentially somewhat of a flank. It could well fall apart, though, because Naf's in front of the train in the open. Flash out. Keo goes back for more, found by Rush. It's down to Alu on the scout, but there's 6 seconds. They have to commit to the plant. Tarek gets Alu. OpTic find round 12, 12-3 at half.
Who would have thought OpTic Gaming running away with the first half on the T side, no less. FaZe really haven't shown up this half, but this is FaZe, one of the best teams in the world, one of the most skilled lineups we have in CSGO. They can bounce back, I'm sure of it. We'll take a quick break and see if they can do so in the second half.
So it's all to play for OpTic. They are in the driving seat, and they only need 4 more rounds to get to the playoffs in an event which everyone would have written them off at until they decided to just play. Just play. FaZe have done none of that. They haven't shown up in the 2 previous games that they've been in, and they now find themselves at 12-3.
Exciting stuff. A lot of pressure for OpTic, though. They know if they win this pistol, it's pretty much a done deal. But if FaZe get it, probably going the full distance. I'm going to say that's still a very strong possibility here. OpTic to defend. See with Tarek and opening things up. He's boosting the connector, but smoked off. A fast assault on the outside bomb site here. Rush can hear them all around him, but the bomb should be planted here by the looks of things.
Decent start from Hayes to find Alu. Bomb still goes down, though, for Kiyoshima. Keep in mind that Tarek is the only one with a kit, so his position's important. He's at old bomb as of right now. Rush is nowhere. He's gone. Keo did not only plant the bomb, but get a kill immediately after. Hayes knows he's being pushed in from Ivy, and Nico wins that duel, covering off a lot of ground because Tarek down as well. You said it would have been a done deal. Now we have a game.
We do. The comeback begins. OpTic do not need to force buy in this second round. With this lead, and the underdog, just go for the gun rounds here. Don't try and steal them away. FaZe probably not going to be giving much room to work with here with the upgraded pistols and the scouts. I think they're sensible, full eco here. Surely, come on, lads. FaZe, you know better. Let's do it. I think it's coming.
Do it.
Come on.
Deagle.
Just that's fine. You have some upgraded pistols. That's okay. Just take an eco here, though. No need to force buy. You've got this huge lead, but no one thought you would have, and you want to be winning this in gun rounds. Don't limit yourself in the key rounds here. So this is enough guaranteed round pretty much for FaZe. We've got the AKs out. UMPs will take things nice and slow. They can't afford to give much away either. So full default for them. Focusing primarily towards Ivy. Nico trying to open things up with the AK-47. Absolutely right. We definitely have a game on our hands now. FaZe so resilient. Still wouldn't be surprised if they came back and won this.
Nico goes down through the alley. Kerrigan's there to back him up on his entry. Oddly enough, Nico leads with the AK and Kerrigan backs up with UMP, but fair enough. To each their own. A-main going to be occupied as well. Rush is positioned between the bombs at Sandwich, between the trains at Sandwich. Kerrigan getting Mixwell down means FaZe is in a similar position, but also going to be pincered off, taken down, in effect, all three of the outer site. They'll find Hazed, last of which, Naf's the last alive.
He is. Not really much he can do with this situation. He's towards the CT steps, and Nico presumably will be dealing with him momentarily. Doesn't spot him. Doesn't spot him in return, but there it is, the final headshot. Clean sweep for FaZe. Didn't really give up any damage whatsoever. Enter number 18. Another Rico. More P250s for OpTic, and maybe it's an inside rush, something like that. Like, it's difficult to imagine a world where they just hold a default formation and manage to even get one kill. I think just rush inside and try and get trades. That'd be my call. Get it over and done with. Let's get down to business with the guns. They can bring out the AWPs next round for sure. Their CT side has been a little bit lackluster of recent memory. So that's why I'm a bit worried from after losing the pistol, but let's see what they bring here. In terms of the setup initially, 5 players towards outside. They're going for a stack, not necessarily pushing. Could have found Kiyoshima alone if they went towards that inside area. Mixwell onto connector and everything goes quiet, but Nafly will be challenged first by Alu. Gets taken down there by the UMP. Should be another clean sweep here, technically. Alu could find a spot of bother as he gets taken down by Rush, and now with flashbangs coming in, it's a bit chaotic.
Chaotic indeed, but Nico finds 2 in return. It's just Haze that remains. He's got a good shot with the USB. Bomb carrier as well, but it won't matter. There's far too many left alive for him to deal with on just that weapon, so 3 players survive for FaZe. They go to 6 rounds, cutting the lead in half. 12-6.
Yes. All power for Mixwell. Seems like that's the role he's been given towards the latter stage of this tournament so far. Like, he's been up and down, a couple of good games and some abysmal ones as well. But right now, top fragging for his team. So this seems to be one of the better ones for him on the AWP. Tarek aggressive towards main entrance. We'll just try and find his first pick. Got a decent view of it. Those players on the left-hand side as well. Can't quite find the shot towards Alu as well. He knows he's got the AWP, so he'll fall back. Trying the challenge at the very start, but I don't... Oh, I thought Tarek was going to take a step further there, but he's fine. Still a 5-on-5. Bit of damage inflicted to the sniper of FaZe. Very default hold for them for now. Bomb still down in T-spawn, so won't be committing just yet. Kiyoshima and Rain holding towards main entrance and Pop Dog.
Kerrigan and Nico still working together. This time both on AKs. Hazed and Rush have a crossfire set to wait for them. As Alu looks down from A-main, flash in his face. Rush gets closer off the back of it. Gives up the angle, and Mixwell's able to find Kerrigan immediately after. Alu does not have position with the AWP as Tarek wants more, but he gets position back. He finds Mixwell. He finds Rush. And Nico already working in from Ivy finds Nafly in the head, rotating back through CT. Hazed makes up for some of the deficit, but they still have to contend with the fact that Alu's picking up the bomb with 24 seconds. He's got an AWP. Ooh, slow reactions as Tarek's able to slip up.
Thought Alu was going to blow his head off at that point, but some crispy shots there from Nico wasn't quite enough. Hayes finds the killing blow, and it's going to be 13-6 there. Very slow default round. His orb duel at the start was key. Alu with the opening frags, but as we said, the fight back from Tarek there was great. And now money dwindling. This is pretty much the round of the sides here. FaZe don't win this. they could have nothing that next round. They just about squeeze out a buy. Alu, glass cannon, 4 AKs with smokes and molotovs as well, so they're fine for this one. Nafly just under an MP9, and against Alu that would be fine, but the other players have got armored heads across the board. Towards lower round, that's where Naf was. Very good player towards the inside area, but with that SMG, I'm not so sure. Alu and Kiyoshima trying to find the opening frag at this position. Contact play, we call this. Goes close as you can to the bomb site and explode as soon as the CT spots you. But Mixwell, he's ready and waiting. Perfect position. Nails that first shot. Kiyoshima goes down.
Decent play. Rain, meanwhile, does get Nafly. Rush follows after. FaZe could respond after only 1 round for OpTic, which would mean an early reset. And a better chance for FaZe to continue the comeback. Good shot from Hayes to get Rain. Just a sliver showing, but he's in a 1 versus 3. Despite having a kit, his chances are fairly limited, and Kerrigan as well looks like he's going to go down ladder and try and push back through Z connector, so even if Hayes gets close, he'll be ready to try and catch him off on a flank, although he's thinking he's already saved, so he's giving Hayes more space by taking the long way around the A site, and Hayes spots Nico. He's going to get clever. Oh, a little too clever. Nico able to catch him off.
Good lord. Could have got quite exciting there, but still. Hayes sneaking in the bomb site. It's quite a harsh reset. Hayes now giving the orders. Still, obviously, he'd be helping Tarek out, who's taken over the in-game leading role, but Hayes, the experienced player, the coach, essentially, calling for the full eco, and I think they probably have something a little bit more interesting up their sleeves. Another 5-man stack outside. Maybe push towards PopDog or something on main entrance. We've got HGs to work with him. But FaZe find another lifeline. Absolutely right. Full reset here as well. Might be a double eco. Tarek gets the first kill, though. Kiyoshima gives that away, but Nico, strong as ever with the AK-47, gets 3 kills, mowing them down outside here. Recovers it, and it looked like maybe it was going to fall apart. 3-on-1 now. Nafly with the T4 USB. Might get one more, but apparently not. Rain finds him. A bit hairy there, giving 2 kills away, but it's still fine. Money still not great. OpTic have to take another eco here. Touching distance of making it to the arena. There's Nico. Solid play. Confident as ever. Never a doubt in his mind he's going to find all those kills.
Yeah, he's been showing up in the recent rounds. He's got his kill total up to 25. He leads all fraggers. Rush is second on 20. Quite a bit of disparity between the top and bottom on the 2 teams. More so on the FaZe side. That's why they're still playing from behind. 13-8. But they've got the economic advantage. Flash. Completely missed the run for Nico. Yes, I would shoot it too.
Yeah.
Bad flash.
Not great, but not a huge deal either. 3 players towards inside now for the CTs rotating in. Mixwell and co. They have been stacking outside primarily so far. This could be the right call considering the position of the bomb. With PT-50s and a 5-7, these rounds are possible, but without the armor, it's hard to imagine a world where they win this one. Hayes though in T-spawn. Going to be detected by Addo, unfortunately. And he'll have to make his way towards PopDog. This is looking very good now for the FaZe side. They'll get towards the outer area and get the bomb down. That's going to be it. Number 9 picked up for them. OpTic certainly feeling the pressure at this point. They could bring the double all-star next round, though. I haven't seen that yet.
No, that's true. Something new for y'all.
So it says lost bonus, and I was getting a harsh reset in the 5th round after winning the gun round. FaZe looking on track to make the comeback. We said it was a possibility. I suggested they could probably even win the game after losing 12-3 in the first half.
It's weird that I had a similar thought, but perhaps speaks to how good FaZe typically are on this map.
You can never count them out, unless it's like a 14-1. Like, they've always got a shout, especially the likes of Nico, Rain, Kiyoshima as well, like so many heavy-hitting players.
Save me. Can't do it. They get there too quickly. Elo and Nico close out on all 5, so they all go down. Not a big loss. They were on pistols, but as you said, they could go double up. They get 1 for Mixwell and 1 for Mixwell. So Hayes goes to the M4 instead.
Does indeed. Number 23. Just looking for that match point. That will relieve so much pressure for OpTic, but 2 rounds might not sound like much, but that's an absolute mountain of a journey for OpTic here against the likes of FaZe. Number 23. Nothing really given away from FaZe so far. This will be fairly typical from them. When on the chase like this, don't risk too much. Just work the defaults. I know across the board they've got better fraggers available to them. Take the jewels and Try and bait out the CT utility, make them feel uncomfortable, pincer them together. Kiyashima as well. He's got early inside control of the brown holes, so that means CT won't feel completely comfortable alone in the inside area. Alu looking for any aggressive play towards main. Flight deploys a smoke, so baiting out utility as Kiyashima towards that inner area. Let's keep track of that. They will finish off towards outside though as Kiyashima falls back. 2 players at main and actually getting towards PopDog as well. This will be, from what I can see, 2 players at Ivy splitting with the PopDog players. Smokes will be deployed momentarily. Back towards inner. So these 2 players at Ivy could go backtracks against CT spawn, or just show such a fight outside that they pull all the rotations and they do go backtracks. This is an inside split. Looking to get CT spawn here, but Nafly trying to take them down. Can't hit the first shot, just about gets it. Needs 2, nails it. Now we have a real chance here for the OpTic side.
Maxwell tries to get the shot,
Wow.
does, follows it, gets both, and backs off in the flames. It does mean there's space for Rain to get closer, but good luck when you're completely surrounded. OpTic are going to find 14. The good news is when you have such a big lead, you take it round by round. You don't have to get many, and they'll find yet another here to mean they're 2 away from finding the playoffs.
Nice idea there from FaZe, going for that inside split. We don't see many teams exploiting the backtracks too often, but you smoke to the right-hand side. You've got 3 players at lower ramp on inner. Try and get towards CT spawn and then overwhelm the CTs in terms of they've got to look in 2 different areas, and the idea is they have no idea that's coming. Nafly, though, he certainly was aware. Took 2 key frags there. That was the moment that they had to execute towards inner. Mixwell feeling brave, stepping in the flames, and now we have 14-9. FaZe still with a bye here. 1 round away from match point, though, is OpTic. Double AWP set up this time. Nafly and Mixwell, quite the deadly duo on paper. Can they step up here? Round number 24. Ali still has his AWP out. Another default round. In terms of the AWP position, though, Nafly towards the inner bomb site. For the reason I described before, Nico in the first half, him holding that position with the AWP means he can actually allow 4 players outside and have full vision of the inner area. So this is a decent setup. They can flash him off, but they need to be very careful here. Nafly might be challenged eventually. Here comes Alu. So see if that battle does go down. Carrigan. This is very typical of him. He's alone towards Ivy. He's the in-game leader. He's trying to pull as much attention as he can. Not so much a fake, just trying to cause a nuisance and call for his teammates on the timing. When he spots 2 players in a certain area, like Ivy, he can say, this is the time to go inside. There's long rotations, and this is the key duel now. If Nafly gets his first kill, which he does fall back, this could be enough just to win the round. It's up to Carrigan. Trying to do what he can here. Lurking towards Ivy. Oh. Dead.
Good flash from Rush. Dead indeed. Go toward B on this. They lose the 2 elsewhere, so might as well throw all the eggs in a single basket. The basket is the B site, and Nafly is a vulture that wants the eggs. He's going to wait as well, but a flash means he doesn't have the vision. Gets it back in time, and Nico's too slow to get to the bomb site, so he goes down. Naf, good response. Takes down Rain as well. He's been a decent secondary opper in the past. He shows up in this round, and Tarek finds Alu. It's map point, playoff point for OpTic.
Absolutely. What a round that was. Well read by OpTic there. Knowing the tendencies of FaZe, I think everyone knows at this point that Carrigan usually towards Ivy by himself. They get that first pick, flash towards Ivy, which is perfect, finding Carrigan in no man's land. And once you find a player like that in that position by himself, you know his teammates will be on the other side. Mixwell, confident shots coming in there. Nafly stepping up as well. He gets an opening pick. That was so crucial. The fact he can allow his teammates to have 4 players outside. He nails that first shot, wins out the duel against the AWPer. And now backs against the wall for FaZe. They still have money to work with here, but match point has been obtained. 6 rounds in a row on the T side. Now that is a very difficult procedure. They will take the tactical timeout. Roban trying to chime in and work out what the players here. They have been presenting a lot of defaults here. Do they mix things up and go a bit faster? I'm not so sure that's the right idea, but we go into round number 25. Match point, playoff point for OpTic. Who would have thought after not qualifying for the major last week, looking like they were so out of it, their social media suggested they were all kind of disenchanted with Counter-Strike right now. Lineup wasn't working for them. About to make it to the playoff against one of the world's very best teams. Mixwell finds the first shot as well. Looking for more. Confident plays.
Alu looking to try and get above the smoke. They pulled it back, Alu and Keo. The advantage for FaZe. who sit on 9 rounds, trying to get into double digits and force overtime at the very best they can do. As Nico starts to work down Ivy as well, Rush will play inside of Sandwich. Alu's still trying to find an angle against him, but he's going to wait. He's going to allow them into the site. He knows that he can't move. He knows he doesn't have information around him, so it's patience that will prevail. So 2 for Mixwell. If they push out A main to go hunting, he could catch them off as Alu goes back to grab the bomb. We get closer to the point of entrance.
We do. Nico this time, end of Ivy, up against Nafly. He's by himself. He goes down. We've got a real problem here. Nico looking towards the outer bomb site. Nafly encroaching. This duel pretty much decides the round. If OpTic get this, it sends panic to the FaZe side. But look at Rain's position. He's actually gotten the connector as well. He gets a guaranteed frag on Mixwell. Could even knife him if he wants to.
Yeah, Rain's got that easy. Crisp, clean lock, boys. Nico gets Naf. Rush, the last alive, does fight on, but that's all he's going to get. Nico was low enough, but the rest were still alive to fight, and they find the 10th round. We still get our chime to remind us it's the last round. Now, what's the buy? They can evenly distribute the economy on the CT side. It's not perfect, though.
They don't have to, right?
That's exactly it.
5 rounds in the bag. Let's just take a partial one here. Let's get the double AWPs out again. Mixwell's been hitting shots. Let's make sure he gets the AWP. Same story for Nafly as well. Just 1 round will do it. Sure, you had the opening pick there. It happens. It's FaZe you're up against, and Rain with a great flank there towards the connector. They just assumed it was going to be an outside play there for some reason, OpTic, and he takes advantage of that. 5.7's PT50s. Tarek head armor, interesting enough. Why would he waste next $100? I don't know, but I guess he has got money for the next round. Flashbang as well. At this point, FaZe will be executing towards inner, it seems, but that's the problem, because you look at the minimap, 3 players for the OpTic side ready and waiting with 5.7's P250s. They do have a chance to win this round. With a player at Popdog as well, Tarek, coming in for the backstab. If it gets hectic enough in that area, he could actually come in and find a couple of kills here. This could be the end. We'll see.
Good find on Keo. AK picked up as well. Damage as they cross the fires, and it could well be the end. Spray down for Naf. Alu found. Just Kerrigan that remains. It's 3 pistols, but it's 3 versus 1. The AK firing on means that they're approaching from all other angles. Good read to find Mixwell as he goes back the other direction. Kerrigan as well is going to go all the way back, hence why Hazed is more hesitant to push all the way through to the Brown Halls. They're going to give up the B site.
This is so tight. Could go either way. Kerrigan, very intelligent player. Gets the plan here. Boosts his chances. Going to be going for it. He thinks he's done enough to separate the CTs. Indeed he has. They have not got a kip. 1 kill, bring it down to the 1v1. He pretty much guarantees it, considering they don't have a rifle here. Good smoke. A lot of pressure for OpTic. 1 round will do it. Hayes coming in for the low round. Dinks him as well, and that's it. The 5-7, the inside stack for OpTic on the eco is the round that breaks FaZe. Who would have thought? It looked a little bit tricky for them. Kerrigan doesn't look happy. Nico's smiling, to be fair. He's just like, what are we doing? Why is this happening? But still, OpTic, fair play to them, to the playoffs. No one thought that'd be possible. Tarek calling as well, throwing caution to the wind, looking like a rejuvenated lineup.
Rejuvenated indeed. OpTic are through to the playoffs, and FaZe are stunned once more. They've got to go into the last round of the Swiss system. 2-2 is a record. 5-5 would be interesting in a Swiss system. Maybe a long process. Yeah. They've got to battle on. They've got to make it into these playoffs, surely, especially before a major. You don't want to be crushed that easily, as it's certainly demoralizing, and they are a favorite in this event, Henry.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations to OpTic and commiseration to FaZe. I can't believe I'm saying it, but OpTic do go to the playoffs. We'll take a quick break and see what the analysts made of that exciting game.
The Pay Safeguard post-match breakdown.
Well, what do you say about that one? Joining me, YNK and Freiberg, and the odds from our sponsor were unbelievably in favor of FaZe, and understandably so, a team that has had an almost untarnished grand final record since the addition of Nico, and we'll be talking more about him in just a moment. First of all, OpTic are going to the Lanxess Arena. Just to remind anyone that's perhaps unfamiliar, caught this game halfway through or hasn't quite been up to date with all the Counter-Strike happenings. Fortunately, this desk is. Janko, you, of all people, can explain why OpTic going to Lanxess Arena may not make sense to some people.
Yeah, I mean, looking at their performance in the past couple of months, and especially last week, even at the major qualifiers, to be honest, to me, they looked like a team that was dead. You know,
right.
Like the roster in itself was bound to change. They didn't look nearly as themselves individually. It didn't seem like they were enjoying playing the game even. So it seems like at this tournament, they just showed up and said, listen, like, let's just have some fun. I mean, TheFatRat being the in-game leader, that just tells you how far down the rabbit hole they went to try and come up with something new. Reminds you of FaZe in 2016 at the beginning, when they were switching in-game leaders every week because they had no idea who was going to do it. So in the end, with that kind of a style, seems like it has reinvigorated some of their individuals, especially Rush, who had a great game, and Mixwell.
Are you getting Dubai flashbacks at all, Adam, here? Is this something you can perhaps relate to?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it seems like they're having fun. Every time, it's what I said last game as well, whenever we see them on camera, they're like having fun. They're having like a good time about it, right? And I mean, they didn't play anything like spectacular, like tactic-wise. They just got a lot of opening kills and just played, I mean, good in situations, good mid-round calling from OpTic on their T side.
And I mean, that's actually something we saw a lot of comments on over in social media. A lot of people actually regarding OpTic's mid-round calls to look very well formed. So it's worth getting an interview when we can, just to find out where they're coming from. Is it TheFatRat that's the source of this kind of improvement and such a fast improvement in such a short space of time? This is a stacked event. Just one of the vast amount of quality Counter-Strike teams that is not present. And OpTic have done what the likes of Fnatic at SK have not quite done. So far, that is, of course. The draw is being done as we speak, so do not worry. We'll have the more games coming up and more maps of Counter-Strike for you to ingest today. For now, though, we return to the game in hand, and I mean, we can bring up some of the frags. Janko, your boy Nico still did what Nico does best, and yet FaZe cannot deliver.
If anything, this was reminiscing of his time in Mousesports, you know, him having a great game, but the team just not being able to take the W. And I think the biggest problem was actually started in the very beginning. I mean, the first gun round of the game, FaZe 2-0 up, they have a 5v3 situation that Nade in team mid worked perfectly. And then in a 3v2 where OpTic just did a weak fake outside, Alu, who was inner, just starts running up lower ramp. I don't know. I'm assuming that was miscommunication from his teammates, because it doesn't really make sense. You only saw nades, you didn't see the bomb, you didn't see even that one player. Right. So that obviously made them lose the round. Then they forced up, lose that eco. That gives control over to OpTic. But I mean, even with that, you expect more from FaZe. They only won one CT-sided gun round for the whole half. I mean, that's something that you would almost never see happen from FaZe. At ECS, they almost made a comeback, being down to 2-13 in the first half on the CT side. So
same map, not quite the same result though for FaZe. Let's review them just for a moment. And of course, the problem child for them was Mixwell. Not only was Nico performing, it seems there's something in the water in Cologne that makes Orpas start performing, because the Spaniard just turns up. And of course, we talked a little bit about his sometimes fear to pick up the AWP, but when he's on, he really is quite intimidating. Look at some of the highlights. It's important rounds, important frags from the Spaniard.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of opening picks he got as T was really surprising to me. Yeah. He even dropped the op to other players who were like, they were just like the best spawn, like always take a pick in city mid, right? Challenge Alu on his CT side. And they got the opener so many times around the map. And as I said before, they were playing very well around their entries. They were just gathering up. They were knowing we have the man advantage. So if we push a bomb site, we'll have the man advantage. And I mean, they just executed perfectly. I saw rounds when they were out on the A bomb site. I can't remember who in FaZe it was, but they were rotating all the way back line. They were sure it's going to be A, but they just went back up, pop lock, went into B, planted the bomb, right? It's small things like that that really like triggers the team to just keep on playing well, and I think OpTic did great.
And triggers is the word I want to use for that last round. I feel like it would be foolish as analyst desk not to talk about how that game ended. Janko, how did FaZe let something like that slip? How does that come about? I mean, sure, they have to make an error, but it's pistols, a little bit of Kevlar.
Yeah, just that they weren't focused enough. They didn't make great use of their utility. You feel like that's where miscommunication happens. You know, maybe a call was being made to go B, but then people just started running into B instead of waiting to group up. Nav gets a kill, picks up the gun, gets another kill. The rest of the team rotates in, and it was just a mess. I think it's fairly obvious that in this game, FaZe wasn't even close to their level. Of course, props to OpTic. They took advantage of it by playing well. If they didn't play well, you know, still FaZe could have made a comeback or still could have won that map. But definitely, whoever FaZe draws in the last round, they're going to have to. They're definitely going to struggle if they don't improve their game.
And before we reveal who FaZe will have as their last opponent, bearing in mind some of the huge names, the likes of SK, Fnatic, North, all present in this 2-2 bracket, there are some rules that apply. But for now, we get to hear from a man who's obviously going to have a huge smile on his face. FaZe put out a tweet saying, "As soon as I started playing again, OpTic haven't won." Perhaps things are changing here in Cologne. Let's check in with him with Stunner.
Hey, thanks, Alex. We're over here on the sidelines right now with FaZe. These guys just picked up a huge W, taking them to the Lanxess Arena. How does it feel already in this moment?
Oh, it's amazing. I've been here, this is my 5th time in Germany, I believe, and I've never had the chance to play in the arena in front of the crowd, so I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, and you know, it's poised to be a big house, right? It's just a full crowd. So, all right, let's kind of go back into the match, though. Right, so Tarek's calling. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Tarek calling has been a lot better than probably what we had thought. I mean, when I first joined team as a coach, I actually said I think the 2 people on team that could call would be Tarek and Rush because they're both very vocal. But I thought they had some flaws in their calling, but I felt like if they worked on it, they could be very good at it. And leading up to this tournament, my style of leading just wasn't working, just straight up. So we decided, hey, let's try Tarek out. He's the one that actually suggested it, and we didn't really practice much with it, maybe a few scrims, but he's been killing it. He's making good calls. We're all listening, and we're all committing, and it's working out really well.
Well, speaking of killing it, you guys absolutely killed it on your T side. What really contributed to that? I mean, what was the game plan there and the preparation?
I mean, our prep isn't like, I don't know, it's not probably what people would expect it to be. We kind of came in just wanting to play our own game. We got a few notes here and there on what their CT side was going to be like and what their T side was going to be like, but we'd played them at IM Sydney, so we already had like a taste of what they do. And yeah, we didn't do any extra prep, really. It was just came in, played our game, and it worked out.
Well, congratulations. Good luck on the big stage. I think you guys are going to do great. And with that being said, I'm going to encourage all of you at home to use hashtag ESL1 to vote in the polls for your favorite teams for the remainder of the weekend. Take it away, Alex.
Well, there you have it. FaZe, smile on his face, and they're surprised by just how well Tarek has been doing in that leadership role. And I think something that stood out to me, and I saw your eyes light up as well, Freiburg, when you heard it, simply saying, he's calling and we're committing. I guess that's not necessarily something you can always get.
No, I mean, you gotta have faith in your in-game leader, right? And I think it's good to have like a player like Tarek, who always likes to kind of go down with the team. I mean, he's showing kind of the way for his team, right? The way they were taking the bomb site and just playing their default, were super confident. They were not afraid to take picks. I mean, playing a good team like FaZe in a game like this, deciding if you go to Lanxess, yeah. I mean, they were showing big balls on the OpTic side.
Hell yeah, they were. Confidence is key, and that key has unlocked a ticket to Lanxess Arena. The playoffs will have 2 North American teams, and now we have to find out who is going to join them in that arena. We have got the draw. I'm sure we can bring it up for you. And so, a little bit of a drum roll, please. There is the reveal, or rather, no, here it comes. SK versus Fnatic will be one. Bearing in mind, the winner of each of these games goes to Lanxess, the loser goes home. Some very high octane and very much high reward, high risk coming into this one. Cloud9 will be taking on Mouse Sports. North FaZe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they're not really going home. They're just going to stick around and then go to Krakow for the major.
Yeah, okay, fine. Just
Told you that SK wasn't going to draw FaZe.
Yeah, 100% you said. You're a mathematician.
Yes.
You're a genius.
I mean, obviously, with these matchups, you have some rules. Like, you can't play the team you already played. So for FaZe, they can't play Fnatic. They can't play Mouse Sports. That limits them to an extent. But besides those 2 teams, SK and North are probably the teams that they would have liked to avoid. Actually, that's not true. Last night, I was sitting in with, like, Alu, Nico, and Alu said, yeah, I don't like that we drew OpTic. I wish we drew, like, a more difficult team because I feel like going into the playoffs, you need to have, like, a tough gaming group. And, well, you already lost to Mouse. What do you want? Like, just win and play in the playoff. No. I would have preferred like to have gotten SK or someone like that. So his wish came true. North is not a bad team by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah. So all of these matchups obviously are going to be very, very interesting. And then it's getting probably the easiest opponent he could have.
Yeah, I mean they've started so strong, and now
Mouse Dennis, not Fnatic Dennis.
Yes, sorry, we should probably specify. But we'll be talking all about our first match, and we'll be breaking it down as we get into our pre-match. For now, we're going to take a quick hiatus, grab yourself a cup of tea, and prepare yourself for 3 more best of ones. Time to find out if your favorite teams are going to make it to the Lanxess Arena, or if that team shirt will be the only team shirt in the Lanxess. We'll find out after the break.